Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode. What you're seeing in the background here is Space Ace, which, if you guys don't know, is an old Laserdisc arcade game. Back in the days, I think it was mid to late 80s, these Laserdisc games came out, and they were quite fantastic. Expensive, though. I believe arcade games, well, all arcade games back then were 25 cents, but the Space Ace games, well, Space Ace, Dragon's Lair 1 and 2 were some of the big ones that hit at that time. They were all about 50 cents, I believe. Maybe even 75, but I believe it was 50 cents. So most of my experience back then was watching other people play. I did play it a few times, but I mostly played the 25 cents games, which was everything else. But it's very, very cool. It was definitely, as you can see, for graphics back then, it was amazing. You're talking mid to late 80s, because it's all Laserdisc, so it's basically just like a video of sorts, a DVD. So it's very cool. Actually, when I grew up, my experience first to video games was through the arcade, because I'm at that age where the generation 1 of the machines were coming out, and our experience to video games were through the arcades. So we would see, like, some of those black and white race car driver arcade games, or we would see Asteroids and others, and that was our experience to the video games. And then finally Atari came home and stuff like that, the Pong Magnavox. So that was my experience way back then with gaming. So most of my love for games started actually in the arcade, and then finally came home when we finally got systems that they were making for TV, such as Atari and so on. My actually first love for home systems was the original NES, Nintendo NES. It was definitely mind-blowing back then, especially as a little kid. I think I was about 13, 14 when I got my first Nintendo. And so back then I was, I liked games. They were okay, Atari games. I was kind of getting tired of the staying on the same screen and going for score attacks. So when they finally started doing games like Pitfall 1 and 2, where it was opened up more than one screen, kind of adventure style, that's when my interest in video games really started. And then when I saw the original Nintendo NES, I was just blown away. The first time that I seen Super Mario Brothers, how colorful it was, how imaginative it was, this world with a plumber jumping up onto mushrooms, stomping on little Goombas and so on. So I was really blown away, and first time I saw Commando and so on. So that's when my true love for gaming started, was with the Nintendo NES, and it's carried on. I've followed ever since, and still play Nintendo only, really. I haven't. The only other systems that I played besides Nintendo was console-wise was the Sega systems. I got all those too while I had the Nintendo. I always made sure that I had the Nintendo first, Nintendo systems, but then I would always pretty much right away get the Sega systems when they came out also. All those. And I did get a PlayStation 1, and I kind of skipped PS2. PS3 I had because it was a gift, someone gave it to me, but I didn't actually go out and buy it. I was more back then into the Sega Dreamcast still. I have tons of games played, about 120 or so. So those were my systems growing up, basically all Nintendo and some Sega systems. And handhelds. Handhelds, I've always loved Nintendo first, but there's been some great ones over the years also, such as the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I actually like that system. What else? Some of the Sega, the Sega Nomad was okay. You had to get it past the battery life because it was only like an hour and a half. The Sega Game Gear, Atari Lynx, I actually like the also the PSP. I like that. I was definitely a love for the I have love for the DS, but I have to say the PSP was a pretty good system also. I wasn't too fond of the Vita though. The Vita I didn't really mess with, so I didn't give it. I can't really give it a fair, honest opinion if I like it or hate it because I didn't really touch it. But I can say I definitely love my 3DS. That's also awesome. The 3DS, especially the new 3DS XL, is very cool. Games are fantastic. And so yeah, that's my experience of video gaming. And definitely want to continue my passion sharing it with each and every one of you out there. Because Nintendo video gaming systems are awesome. There's a lot of games out there, especially handheld stuff that I like. I'm more into a lot of handheld stuff nowadays, so that's what I'm going to be mostly covering. I still cover here and there some Wii U stuff, but I think my passions over the years has gone directed towards the handheld systems, which usually it reverses for a lot of older people. They go for the console systems, maybe because their eyes need a bigger screen. Maybe they like sitting on the couch or something. But for me, I don't know. I love portables. So, anyways, I will talk about what I saw in the news. It's a lot of NX rumors and things, but it's interesting. I find it interesting. Like I like to tell everybody, is they're rumors. So if they don't happen, don't get bummed out because it's just a rumor. But I find it interesting at least, and would like to share the information with each and every one of you. So let me start here. It seems the Wall Street Journal is always reporting on NX rumors more than anybody else, or things that they hear. So a senior technology principal analyst at IHS named Hiroshi Hayashi shared some news earlier today. He basically talks about that there is a lot of displays being shipped, 3.1 inches to 5 inches wide, will be shipped to 16.5 million units this year. So that is a lot. I think it's OLED displays, if I'm correct. So he's basically talking about that they expect this system to come in 2016. And with those size of screens, it sounds like a portable. I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually enjoying my 3DS a lot, and I think it still has a lot of life in it, but could just be me. I don't know. I think that there's still a lot of life in it, but I guess they're moving on maybe. Well, at least that's what the rumor says. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's time to move on from the 3DS, or do you think it has at least another year to 2 years in it? We also know that Foxconn Electronics was the chosen manufacturer for the console, and they were supposed to be mass producing it starting in Q2, so it's coming real soon, so we shall see. And the other NX rumor was that Super Smash Bros. Is coming to the NX at launch, and Bandai Namco is going to be developing this title and several others. So this is an interesting rumor, because I'd imagine they are not going to make a whole new game, but just port over this version from the Wii U, and may very well maybe even add a few more characters, who knows, but I maybe bump up the graphics up. I'm not sure what else they could do, add some other stuff to it. Still very interesting, because it's been flying around everywhere. So with rumors, there's always some truth to it somewhere. So even if it's not Smash Brothers, that they're definitely working on other titles. And it sounds like, from what I'm hearing from all these different rumors flying around everywhere, there's got to be some truth to it, that Nintendo has somehow managed to get all these third parties to start making games for their system, which is a good sign. So, because we've heard everything from the Dragon Quest games, Final Fantasy games, and Bandai Namco, Sega, so it sounds like quite a few third-party people they've somehow mended their relationships, and they're going to start making games for the NX. So this is very good sign, and if the rumor is true, you guys will be seeing Smash Brothers of some sort on the NX at launch. So that'll be very interesting. The Final Fantasy Tactics is coming to the Wii U, or it's actually out now, I believe, on the Virtual Console. So that is very cool. If you guys haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics, then you definitely must play it, because it's an awesome game. It's one of the best games in the Final Fantasy series. I always debate if I like the PlayStation 1 version better, or this version that they've created for the Advance. Well, it was on the Game Boy Advance, so when it started, but I actually think I lean towards the Nintendo Advance version, the Game Boy Advance version, because it was just so much fun. So if you haven't tried that, then definitely give it a try. The music's fantastic. The strategy, everything in the game is just really well done, and it's a lot of fun. I actually did not beat the game. I should go back and play it. I still have it. I got halfway through it, I think, and then you got sidetracked with all these other great games that came out. But it's definitely worth playing, so I'm definitely going to play it because I own it, the original. So definitely check it out if you haven't. Actually, there's quite a few fantastic games coming out for the Wii U and the 3DS. I should say more 3DS, but the Wii U has some fantastic games still coming. So there's lots of life in both systems. So it'll be interesting to see when this NX comes out and what it really is and how it'll affect the systems that we own currently. So it'll be very interesting. There was, I think it's called Macronix, is a memory. They sell memory products, and they are making flash memory for the new system, the NX. So there was another article on that today, and saying that they are gearing up for a 2016 launch of this new NX system. So they make basically memory, internal memory for the system. So that'll be another interesting thing to see what kind of internal memory it'll have for ROMs. And I'm curious to see what kind of memory for storage of downloadable games it'll have also. Not just for the operating system memory and stuff, but I'm talking like a hard drive space. Because I would imagine this day and age, at the minimal, with a 500 gigabyte drive, or maybe, no, I don't want to say a terabyte, maybe a 500 at the minimal, but definitely need more memory nowadays with how big these games and technology's moving and so on. So I would imagine that would be the minimal for the NX that it would need. Or maybe they'll just maybe let you choose a couple different options. So what do you guys think on that? What size of hard drive do you think the NX would need to be bare minimum to get by? The next things I'm looking forward to on my agenda, I actually got one of them, which is Terraria for the 3DS, so I got that. Next game I'm looking forward to is the Hyrule Warriors Legends. It's coming out March 25th. I can't wait to get my hands on that game. It looks like a lot of fun. So I've seen some people do some Let's Plays on the Japanese version, and it looked great. So I just can't really wait because it looks awesome. Everything from all the new characters such as Linkle, Toon Link, and so on. That looks really cool. And the ability to switch characters in the middle of the game, which was a change from the Wii U version. So it looks very cool. Now, if you guys love Nintendo, anything to do, especially with the portable systems, then you're in the right place. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'm going to let this Space Ace continue on. I didn't beat the game today. I got pretty far, but I think I was about 75% through it, so I'll let you guys watch it. Anyways, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and as always, have a good one. Take care, everybody.